There's a difference between our intuition and being really, really good at catching even the tiniest red flags. And I think it's important to know the difference. By definition, intuition is the ability to understand something without any conscious reasoning. You do not need logic. It's just this understanding that you have, a knowing that you have instinctively. Intuition does not cause pain and discomfort. It's an immediate knowing that comes into your body, whether you should go towards something or stay away from it. Intuition is like a sixth sense. It's not positive and negative as in good and bad. It's as in positive, go towards the attraction, and negative, stay away from it. Let's say like the sense of touch. If you are really cold, you're going to be drawn towards something that's really warm. But if you touch something that's a little too hot, your body, your sense will know to stay away from it. And a lot of people seem to confuse positive or negative as good or bad because their brain starts to logically process the illogical. So our intuition, we should always follow it. If something is telling you to go towards something, follow it. Away from something, follow it. Regardless, it's simply just a knowing. But when your brain, your conscious mind starts asking, why do I need to go towards that person? Why do I need to stay away? That's the logical brain, the conscious mind. Now, we also have an unconscious mind, and the unconscious mind is right in the middle between the conscious, logical, which is less than 5%, and we have the subconscious, which is over 95%. The unconscious are things that you're not aware of, but when you put your attention on them, then you become aware of them. Breathing, for example. You don't consciously think that you're breathing all the time, but when you become aware that you're breathing, same thing for walking, same thing for brushing your teeth, same thing for memories. Some memories are so deep and profound, they're stored in our subconscious. They're still there, but we're not aware of them. And some memories are more core memories, and those are in the unconscious. When you put your attention on them, you bring them to your conscious mind. Knowing about the unconscious and the subconscious, sometimes we will meet people and we will think it's intuition, but it's actually catching little subtle red flags of things that we've lived in our memories of the past. Let's say you see someone online or you meet someone in person and you have this intuition of, I need to stay away. Your logical mind will always kick in and ask yourself, why? Now, when your instinct comes in, you don't necessarily need to know why. If there's somebody online that you are not meant to follow, don't follow them. If there's somebody in person you're not meant to be around, don't be around them. But when you start coming up with the positive and negative as good or bad, your conscious logic mind will start to judge the positive and negative. The judgments that we have come from our mind, come from our memories. It could be that somebody has a smell of somebody that hurt you in the past. So you think, ooh, bad energy. Let's say you come across a video of somebody expressing themselves and talking a certain way, and you immediately go, oh, your unconscious could kick in and say, oh, this person reminds me of so-and-so. But if your subconscious kicks in, all the things you're not aware of, you're not going to realize that that person reminds you of so-and-so. You're going to think that that person is negative. When in fact, it could simply be that this person is really not meant to be in your life, whether online or in person. Now, if you are someone who's lived trauma and you've lived all sorts of things, you may be really good at catching red flags, catching things that people do, the way they act, what they say. You may be hypersensitive to the things that are very dangerous for you. So if you meet someone in person and your intuition is like, no, stay away, your logic mind kicks in and says, why do I need to stay away? And then you start analyzing and catching the red flags. It still means stay away, even though you should follow your intuition and also follow the red flags. The reason why it is so important to know the difference is not because of that person, it's because of yourself. What I mean by that is it's never about the tree, it's about the person that is watching the tree. If you and I are standing on opposite sides of a tree, the way we think and feel about that tree will not only depend on where we're standing, will depend on our memories about trees. Do we have trauma concerning trees? Did a tree fall on our house? Or maybe we have a lot of love for trees because we're very connected to nature. The same thing applies to humans. How we each think and feel about each individual human is not dependent on the human, it's dependent on us. If we are meant to stay away from some people, we are simply meant to stay away. Whether it comes from your intuition to stay away from someone or it's you catching red flags, follow that. Red flags are you factually catching information. But if you start to judge a person based on those red flags, that has nothing to do with the other person. That judgment and criticism is coming from you. If you are calling someone negative, meaning bad, and you are coming with judgment and criticism and condemning them, you yourself are projecting negative, projecting bad. And another reason why it's so important to know the difference is because some people will give you a so-called bad vibe. And it's simply because you need to stay away from them, because everybody is not meant for us. And you are not meant for everybody. If somebody met you and immediately got a vibe to stay away, that's because they're not meant to be in your life. It doesn't mean that you're a bad person. So when we criticize other people and we justify our mean, critical behavior because that person is giving us a negative energy, that is your logical mind trying to decipher why you feel like that. But again, it has nothing to do with that person. Now, let's say evidence presents itself that this person is actually very abusive, and you actually see them or you see reports on them and they go to jail, whatever the case. Let's say worst case scenario, this person really genuinely did hurt someone and you knew it. You had a feeling that they were negative. That's okay. That's okay to not like someone. It's okay to know and catch the red flags. It's okay to be really good at catching red flags. But it's not okay to judge and criticize someone else, because that in itself is very negative. What that person is doing is a reflection of them. How that person is behaving is a reflection of them. How you are behaving, how you are responding is a reflection of you. So if you are criticizing and condemning and judging continuously and talking and gossiping about a person, that has nothing to do with the other person. Even though that person may legitimately be not a good person, you in itself are still not the greatest person by spending all of this energy and time calling them negative when you are projecting negativity. There's going to be a lot of people that you meet in the workplace that you don't like. Sometimes even in your family, there's people you don't like. And especially online, there's going to be videos that pop up and you're going to get these immediate feelings to just keep swiping. I would very much encourage you to do that, because there are over 8 billion people in the world, and not everybody is going to like everybody. And what a lot of people have a hard time understanding is, let's say you were in the limelight and you had millions and millions of followers and people came across your video, there would be a lot of people that don't like you and a lot of people that do. And none of it would have anything to do with you, because you are authentically being yourself. And how other people perceive you and their assumptions of you, because they don't really know you, have nothing to do with you and everything to do with them. Some people are meant to be in our life and some people are simply not. Now, if you don't like someone, you don't like them. But how you react when you don't like someone, do you criticize them? Do you gossip? Do you try to encourage others to not like them? That has nothing to do with that other person and everything to do with you. Just remember, it is never, ever about being perfect, because no human is perfect. It is simply about being aware so we can project more of that love and kindness into the world.